You're in the trenches with Dave Lapham, presented by First Star Logistics. The Cincinnati Bengals this weekend have continued prep for the 2025 NFL season, and Dave Lapham was on hand for the practices Saturday and Sunday. And Lap, it's that time of year where you get the way the Bengals preseason schedule played out. They get a few extra days to kind of work some things out after the preseason game one, the loss against the Eagles. And but the one thing easy to see is the skill players, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, those guys, Chase Brown, those guys, they look like they're ready to go.
Absolutely. I think they could have played a regular season game yesterday or last week. They're reported in phenomenal shape. They know the offense. They know every nuance of the offense, every little thing that they're supposed to do from an assignment perspective, technique, fundamentals. They've got it all down. And they're great players. They're very physically talented. They've been blessed. Good Lord, touched their shoulder pads and touched their helmets to allow them to play at a high level from a physicality standpoint and a mentality standpoint, and an understanding of assignments as well. So not just playing in a frame of mind that you have to play in to be successful in the National Football League, which is up in the bit, very, very aggressive mindset. You still have to be able to keep your head well enough where you don't, brain cramp, brain lock, and forget assignments and not fulfill your responsibility from, where you were supposed to be, when you were supposed to be there, doing what you were supposed to do to have a successful play. So, everybody that is trying to make this football team is capable of doing that and more. And I do think that this roster that they're putting together is going to be the best in the National Football League. I think from top to bottom, they've got players. They have players everywhere, Dave.
One of the things fans, I think, are being, kind of focused on is the play of the offensive line. And that's good reason. That's kind of been the weakness since Joe Burrow came to Cincinnati. But the one thing I think people read too much into is when coaches start moving guys around. You have to be versatile. You have to be able to play multiple positions, something you know all about from your career if you want to be a long-term player in the National Football League.
Exactly. And if you're not a starting player, if you're a young player like Jalen Rivers and you're trying to make a football team, the one thing that you're going to have to show the coaches, the one thing the coaches are going to want to try to find out is how many positions can you play? Can you play guard and tackle? Can you play guard on both sides of the football, meaning left and right side? Because it's just like it's almost like a foreign country you're going to. Some guys, when they go from right to left side, it's like they have no idea they're so right-handed. They can't do anything left-handed stance, left-handed sets, left-handed, going through the techniques and the fundamentals from that left side. Coaches have to find out and want to find out right away. How versatile is the guy physically and mentally and athletically? Can he play right and left? And if you can, that increases the odds that you're going to make the football team, because if you can play center, guard, and tackle, you're in high cotton, man. You're going to play in the National Football League. If not for the Cincinnati Bengals, if you're put on tape in the National Football League playing reps against NFL caliber players in the preseason, that you can play more than one position, there's some value there. And you're going to get a second and third opportunity somewhere. So I think that that's what they want to find out. They want to find out how many players do they have that can play more than one position. Now, if you're a starter, if you're Orlando Brown, you're playing left tackle. If you're Mims, you're playing right tackle. If you're Ted Karras, you're playing center. But just about everybody else, you got to be able to show that you can play right and left, whatever it may be, guard or tackle.
You're in the trenches with Dave Lapham, presented by First Star Logistics. First Star Logistics, one of the fastest growing companies in Cincinnati, is looking to expand its brokerage department by hiring individuals wanting a fast-paced career in the logistics industry. Visit firststarlogistics.com for details on how you could join the team at one of the top places to work in the Cincinnati area. Lap, let me ask you this, because at this time, every camp, I don't care where you're at across the NFL, injuries are going to happen, minor, major. We've seen guys who are going to be out for seasons already on teams across the NFL. But it looks, even though there's some injury stuff, guys being held out, it looks like the Bengals, for the most part, are staying healthy where they should be ready to go by the time we get to week 1.
Yeah, I think so, Dave. Minor injuries, nothing that's going to cost any player a significant amount of time in terms of regular season games lost, even preseason games lost. I think most guys are going to be able to play their rotation of snaps that they're going to be asked to play down in Washington and against the Indianapolis Colts, the final 2 preseason games. And I think they're going to be able to play them at a high level. I don't think they're going to be hindered, because of these injuries. They're minor, but sometimes the best thing to do is to keep them that way, keep them minor, and treat them, let them get over them, and don't let it worsen and become a more major injury, exacerbate the problem. A lot of times too is you'll have some sort of an injury, a minor injury, and now you alter your gait, you alter the way you're performing your fundamentals and your techniques, and now you get hurt somewhere else because you were favoring, the hamstring, and as a result of favoring the hamstring, you tweak your back or whatever. It's like so like one thing can lead to another, and you want to avoid that. So I do think the Bengals medical staff is amongst the best in the NFL, and they do take care of their players, and they get players back on the field very, very quickly. But not, they've not put them in danger to get them back out in the football field. Players don't see the football field until they've proven that they can go out there and perform. They have to go through a battery of tests that the training staff puts them through before they're even allowed to put pads on.
We talk a lot about the skill guys, the wide receivers, and the quarterback, Joe Burrow. What position group has surprised you the most in this training camp so far?
I'd say it's probably defensive ends, the edge players, and members of the secondary. I think that the number of players is a surprise. Not that they've got players that can play, not that they've got players that can go out and perform at a very high level, but I think that they've got a much larger number of those than they've had in the last couple of years. I think training camp is definitely got more athletes that are ready to compete at an NFL level, from a mental standpoint and a physical standpoint, both areas. I think that the people they have out there competing on a day-to-day basis at training camp are of that mindset. I think they're ready to compete at a very high level. Ready to fight to the tooth and nail, ready to fight to the end, and do it day in and day out. Not just a one-shot wonder, not just do it one time to say, yeah, see, now I've shown you I can do that. Well, coaches are like, hey, that's great, son. You've shown you can do it. Can you do it again? Can you do it again? And can you do it again after that? The name of the game in the National Football League, when you're a professional player, it's professional. It's your occupation. It's your job. You have to be consistent with your performance, day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out. You have to be the same guy delivering the same performance, going about it the same way every single day.
Today was more of a special teams practice. Talk about, we saw some good signs in special teams in the preseason game against Philadelphia. But you've got to feel confident the Bengals are sitting pretty well at kicker, punter. Maybe the battle there is still going on at long snapper, but it looks like some guys step forward as far as return guys as well.
Yeah, that's definitely a fact, Dave. I think, you've had guys step up and bust a kickoff return for over 40 yards, a punt return for over 30. Those are big plays. I mean, when you capture those hidden yards and you swing field position in that manner, in that fashion, by excellence of special teams play, that's a huge factor in any football game at any level, be it regular season, or the playoffs, or be it high school, college, or the NFL. I mean, when you can bust returns like that and take the pressure off your offense and get the hidden yards heavily in your favor and give the offense short fields that they have to convert for points, that's high cotton, man. That's getting it done. So I think Darren Simmons pretty darn pleased with his return game. I think punt return, kickoff return have performed well for him. I think that he feels like he could probably get a little bit more out of his punt coverage and kickoff coverage teams, as the opposition has had some success with the return here and there as well. So again, consistency of performance. Not just making covering a kickoff or a punt one time and then in the first quarter play well. Second quarter, it's like, who are these guys? Not even being able to get out of your own way and giving up those hidden yards and allowing the return game of the opponent to just dominate. Can't have that. You have to have consistency of performance. Snap in, snap out, series in, series out, quarter in, quarter out, half in, half out, on a game-by-game basis. That's the name of the game.
Lap, you talked about the secondary. We talked about the special teams. One of those guys over the course of the last couple seasons that kind of showed signs during preseason and during the season on special teams is Tyson Anderson at safety. Is he getting more of a chance now with Geno Stone kind of being dinged up a little bit to kind of show, hey, I can do more than just special teams?
Yeah, I think Tyson Anderson is thirsting for more. Tyson Anderson is a competitive young man, and he's a talented football player, and it means a lot to him. Tyson Anderson is a guy, I mean, when you watch him on the football field, and I imagine in the classroom it's even more so, but I don't have an opportunity to see the Bengals in the classroom when coaches are at the chalkboard installing, the schematics. I don't get to see that. I'm not part of those meetings. I'd love to. That'd be great for a bunch of reasons. And one of them is to see, who the quick study guys are and who might take a little bit longer for it to sink in. But he is quick. He's a quick study guy. He loves football. He loves the intricacies of football. He wants to know why the coaches have him doing what he's doing. Why do you have me do this? Why can't I do it another way? What's the real purpose behind all this? He has questions and he's thirsting for answers to his questions. And that's the kind of player you love to have as a coach. I mean, you can bring those guys along so fast and you can teach them so much football. And Tyson Anderson, has the mind and the mindset for all of that.
You're now a little over 3 weeks in. The Cincinnati Bengals continued training camp. Today was the last day that there was any type of fan groups at practices. The Bengals will be getting ready for their second preseason game leading up through this week for Monday Night Football against the Washington Commanders on the road. Lap, talk about the mindset of training camp when you get into that fourth week, roughly, of getting ready for the NFL season. A lot different today than what it was in your playing career because they are able to sleep in their own beds. They're able to have maybe a little bit more of a freedom to do things, but it's still a grind when you're getting your physical body up almost every day and hitting that field.
Absolutely. No question about it, Dave. Absolutely right. I mean, the grind of an NFL training camp is real, and it's serious. I mean, it takes a toll on your body. You got to get your body right for it. You have to be in a mindset to be in great physical condition, and then you have to get in the mindset of recoverability. That's a big factor. You have to treat your body right. You have to allow your body to bounce back. And one of the couple of ways that you help it do that sort of thing is get proper rest and proper diet. And during training camp, no excuse for not doing that. I mean, if you're out carousing, if you're out, drinking them up, having a good time with your buddies and everything that goes along with that, you're not very serious about your NFL career because you're not giving your body a chance. I mean, you're taxing it. You have to allow it to calm down, relax, get proper rest, proper nutrition, and bounce back and recover. I think that's the thing that the guys are understanding. These are the dog days of training camp coming up. You got preseason game number 2 right in the middle of it. So this is kind of like the dog day. Dog day is starting, and then the preseason game number 3, kind of the foot's off the gas a little bit, and then you get ready for the regular season. But this preseason game is going to be a lot of work put in. They get a long week. They have Monday Night Football, so there'll be extra work, put in. It falls at a good time for the Bengals to get extra installation in, get extra hard work in for the regular season opener. So there's a lot of good things about having Monday Night Football in your second preseason week for sure. And then your last game against the Colts is a short week, a Saturday night after a Monday night. So you have to understand and get used to preparing for a short week. Understand the taxes that it puts on your body, the way you have to schedule yourself on a short week, things you have to do to help your body bounce back faster. And like we talked about, the recoverability, and then you really got to make sure you get your rest. I mean, rest and proper diet are premium factors when you have a short week. I mean, you can't you can't have a sloppy diet and pick up extra weight, pick up poundage that you don't need. And then of course, like we're talking about, make sure you take care of yourself. You're not a party animal at night, and you're getting the proper rest. All those things are part of learning to be a pro. And the guys that learn it the fastest have the longest careers.
In the Trenches with Dave Lapham is presented by First Star Logistics. First Star Logistics, one of the fastest growing companies in Cincinnati, is looking to expand its brokerage department by hiring individuals wanting a fast-paced career in the logistics industry. Visit firststarlogistics.com for the details on how you could join the team at one of the top places to work in the Cincinnati area. Lap, as always, we appreciate you taking the extra time of your day to be in the trenches and talk about the Cincinnati Bengals.
Dave, I appreciate that. I appreciate the opportunity to catch up with you on a regular basis like we do. And again, I can't let people know enough how much I appreciate what you do. You make it easy for me, man. You make my life easy. We've been working together for 5 years plus, going into our 5th year anyway. We've celebrated 5 and starting another one, and it's been a great run in the trenches with Dave Lapham, brought to you by First Star Logistics. And First Star Logistics gave us a great opportunity to do what we love to do, and that's communicate the game of football to the masses, to the fan base of the Cincinnati Bengals. And our goal is to have some legitimate programming, some high level programming that would interest football fans of all levels and generations and ages of the Cincinnati Bengals. And I think through your efforts, Dave, we get that done. And it's sometimes it's a challenge. We get a lot to do some weeks for sure, and some weeks it seems like there's not enough days in the week. But you're a grinder. You're a great work ethic guy, and I appreciate the heck out of you, and I appreciate the way you do come to work every single day.
Thank you for the kind words again, Lap. I appreciate it. Again, everybody, help us grow in the trenches with Dave Lapham, presented by First Star Logistics. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not done so already. Share what Dave Lapham has been doing now going into season number 5 as we cover the Cincinnati Bengals, and not just the Bengals, but talk about the NFL as well with national guests, guys like Phil Simms and Chris Simms and Chris Collinsworth and Boomer Esiason and Peter King over the course of the last 5 seasons. So hit that like button, subscribe, share, leave a comment. We always look at the comments. And until next time, everybody, hoo-day.
Hoo-day, Dave.